Hey, my name is Scott, and if you're seeing this, then you are kind of within the Turnkey podcast ecosystem, either as a client, a prospect, or maybe somebody that's just, kind of involved in what they're working on. But I wanted to say thank you so much for the opportunity to meet you and to share a little bit more about what we're ultimately working on. I believe the email addresses this, but I come from the world of performance marketing and data-oriented, kind of marketing. So one of the things that I've talked a lot with Doug and Strickland on is making sure that as we drive, hopefully, growth for your podcast or even getting you started with a podcast, helping drill down and focus on some of the analytics and the performance side of things is going to be super helpful for businesses to understand the return on investment and the value that, ultimately is coming to the table. Um, a piece of what we're trying to do as we kind of continue to market and continue to grow is how can we help you beyond just the production of the podcast? And that's one of the big things that I think Doug and Strickland are excited about bringing me into the mix on is creating marketing acceleration through your podcast. And so getting that information that's being shared in a podcast and using that across multiple channels, taking sort of an omni-channel marketing approach is really what we want to be able to do. And there's a system that isn't necessarily groundbreaking, but it's something that I've kind of established and been building on to help you do that. And I wanted to share that with you real quick. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you what we are working on. So the first thing, obviously, is going to focus a little bit more around the video side of the house, right? So video content, taking the recording from your podcast, maybe 30 to 40 minutes, and doing several different things with it. The first one is clipping it into shorts so that those short form videos can be used across as many social media channels as you'd ultimately like. Again, that's something that with the right practice, with the right, sort of approach and kind of strategy, you should be able to generate visibility, momentum, engagement for the most sort of emotional or informational or shareable clips from the episodes that ultimately you're recording. So we've done this already for a handful of clients, but this is the kind of the first format of the Turnkey shorts that obviously we're publishing to try to generate some momentum for the Turnkey podcast channel as well. So that's kind of the first thing regarding the video content. The second thing is actually publishing video content with thumbnails, with the right titles, with descriptions that actually allow for like searchability, so SEO built into the description, built into the title of the video as well. And again, we're just getting started, so the Turnkey channel doesn't have tons of followers right now, so the views are relatively low, but it's not necessarily discouraging to see that there are people finding these videos, that there are people watching these videos. So that's actually something that I'm really happy to see. But if we go over to Shorts, what you'll notice here is that the viewership on Shorts is much, much higher, 1,300, and then 133 as of, publishing about, last week or so. So we're going to continue to obviously publish here. The purpose of shorts is really to try to gain followers. The purpose of long format is to to go deeper with those followers and to gain a little bit of trust with those followers and hopefully drive engagement. So what we're doing with the video side of things is creating this type of output. In addition to that, we want to take the transcript from the podcast and we want to turn it into additional marketing outputs that you can take and that you can publish and promote your podcast or your business on additional channels. So you'll see here, and this isn't something we're doing for all of our clients. This is something we're doing for a handful of them. But what you can see right here is LinkedIn posts, emails, blogs. We want to get all of that written content out there as well so that you have multiple channels running that have some engagement kind of ultimately going on. So those are the things that we're taking your podcast and actually creating more marketing output with. In addition to that, if you haven't become a client, but you're interested in learning a little bit more about how we're doing this, or you're looking to kind of go ahead and get the podcast kickstarted or restarted, please reach out. There should be a calendar link in the email that we'd love to engage and chat with you a little bit further on how we can help. But thanks so much for your time. Again, my name's Scott, and I'm hoping to drive a tremendous amount of value for clients that are hoping to see their podcast really grow, their audience really grow, and really just do some cool things with their marketing. So thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.